you've got quite the background there, man. Is this your Bitcoin room or just bedroom or what?
Yeah. So actually, as of last night, I decided I had a corner desk that wasn't necessarily supposed to be a corner desk. That I was like, I can make this a corner desk. It didn't work out. And I've been kind of obsessed with like these desk setup videos. And so last night I was like, all right, I'm this is ridiculous. It's not working out. Everything's cluttered. So I basically dismantled my desk, moved it around, and I hopped on a video call today actually, and I was like, okay, this is not looking good, and I have a recording tonight. And so like I just primed all that up. But this is my office. It's a work in progress, but I wanna actually make like it's like work streaming stuff. I mean, when I do that occasionally, I have a work bench, quote unquote, that I'm still working on. Kind of like my own little garage as well, because I live in a condo. I'm wanting to do like I'm kind of proud of where it is, so I want to do like a little tour when it comes together. But like I got my toolbox, got some ASICs over there, got some other ASICs over there. Those are bricks right now.
Well, so you are between two ASICs at this very moment.
I'm actually between like maybe 8 ASICs. So
I don't hear any on right now, bro.
Yeah,
you're wasting hash rate.
Yeah, I had to turn off. No, I only have hosted here. I only have an S9, and I've actually been working on it because one of the hash boards is like it wants to work, and then it doesn't after like 2 hours. So I might have to reset some chips and stuff. But that's the only thing that I host here. Everything else is at my dad's office because he does not charge me electricity.
How do you learn to like work on ASICs? Like when you say replace a hash board, that sounds like Greek to me.
Yeah,
well, it's probably Chinese, but you know.
I mean, one of the biggest parts of learning was literally to get an ASIC in my hands and just like take it apart and see how it works. And as far as like the board level stuff, I'm not there yet. It's going to take a lot of YouTube videos and probably, I mean, if we're being honest, probably not even YouTube videos. Like that's the kind of stuff that you gotta like reach out to someone who knows what they're doing.
Right. That's something the YouTube videos is what you watch about desks.
Yes, exactly. Just desk setups.
That's a rabbit hole I haven't been down yet. But
honestly,
tell me about it,
dude. I've gotten in the world of macro pads and like optimizing just little workflow stuff. So I'm about to leave the industry and just start doing like ASMR keyboard videos or something like that.
Macro pads, is that like automation stuff where you hit one button and then it like triggers a workflow? Is that what you mean by workflow? Like
pretty much, yeah. Like
IFTT.
Yeah, I had a Stream Deck a while back and I sold it because I didn't use it much anymore. And then right after I sold it, I was like, man, if only I had a Stream Deck. Oh wait, good job.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
But I mean, Stream Decks are expensive, and I found like there's other stuff too. Like the one that I have is called a Megalodon. It's like it literally is just like 16
Metal
keys. Band. Yeah. It's just like 16 keys that you can program to do different keystrokes, and I was like, yeah, I really want that. People use it for. You have different profiles. People use it for like video editing, which I was like, I could also do that. I think that my workflow could be optimized by doing it. It's a rabbit hole that I didn't know that I was going to go down, and now I can't get out. And so,
dude, there's so many rabbit holes in life.
Yeah, straight up.
That's the one thing I found out in my adulthood so far that I'm certain about.
Yeah, there's a lot of rabbit holes, and honestly, YouTube's algorithm is what makes me like find those rabbit holes and get trapped in them as well. They just like shove videos down my throat that I enjoy. I don't know. I don't even know. Enjoy. Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, do they? Were you like an early YouTuber? Like not necessarily like content creator, but just like.
Yeah,
I was on YouTube in 06, 07 recording guitar videos, man. Like, they're all private now.
I need to check back. I had some like just obscene like cringe videos that were like
last week you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm currently recording those videos right now.
Yeah, I was like, that's what you're producing today.
No, I think I actually left one of my earliest ones up because it was such a hit. Like I low-key kind of went viral because I was showing my Mighty Beans collection.
I watched that. I watched.
You saw that one? Okay.
Oh yeah. I do research on all the guests before. A lot of times they have no idea how much research I do.
Yeah, you're like a Nardwar, but for a podcast.
I'm glad you brought up the Mighty Beans because I left it off the topic outline intentionally. So
I love talking about it because it's like
I had no idea how to look up what Mighty Beans were. Another rabbit hole.
That was a rabbit hole that I was way down early on and hope to never get. I learned
you were like 15 or something in there.
No, I was like 10. I was like 10.
Yeah, you were really young.
If you pay attention, the comments are actually turned off because that was where I learned most of my curse words when people were
through
telling
YouTube comments.
Yeah, through those YouTube comments on that video, people were I learned what a lot of things were based on what some people were telling a 10-year-old kid on the internet. My mom was not happy. But also I had a lot. I want to go back and try to find these messages, and like Google/YouTube changed all sorts of like the messaging since then. But I had tons of people in Singapore specifically. I have no idea why they were reaching out to me, asking to trade some of my Mighty Beans, some of the gold edition Mighty Beans that I had, and some people, I kid you not, full circle, I was offered 10 Bitcoin for a Mighty Bean once. And I had no idea what it was, so I said no. Or I didn't even respond. My mom also was like, no, it's a scam. It had to have been like
plot twist, she still says that.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I want to go back and find that because straight up I was offered 10. I mean, granted, I think the value at the time was probably like $5 or something like that. But
okay.
It wasn't like it was just
the early internet days.
Yeah,
dude. It was. I mean, really, like I feel like the Facebook and all was like the late 2000s kind of financial crisis time that it came out, and then the internet really like got big in the 2010s. Like I don't even really want to say the word Web3 because I just
whoa.
But like if the 2000s were Web 1, 2010s were Web 2, which was like the rise of social media and all that stuff, Instagram and so forth. Web 3 is their 2020s, I guess. But Jack Dorsey's thinking 2 steps ahead, so he's on Web 5.
I've been working on Web 7 for such a long time, and he just wants to like take all the credit for going Web 5. But I mean,
it's something with prime numbers. It's like it's all about prime numbers.
Exactly.
I watched this Lex. You ever watch Lex Friedman?
A little bit. It's long form content. It's hard to get into.
Oh, you mean the 7-hour Balaji interview wasn't right up your alley?
I listen to that every day. Actually,
I mean, you would have to for a month straight to be able to get through it. But he had this guy come on the show. Actually, it was Balaji in the very beginning because I think I got through the first 20 minutes and I was like, okay, I'm over it. But he talked about the prime number maze and how, like rats I believe it was rats, like they can figure out patterns. Like if you give them a reward, they can figure out like, okay, on every even door, go left, or every even door, go right, or every odd door, they can count in like pairs and stuff. But when you say like, okay, every prime number door, it's actually like no different. I mean, it's just a simple formula. It's like a prime number. But for some reason, the like cognition ability of these of rats, I believe it was rats. Like they just can't do it. And then Balaji talks. He's like, but like, how many humans could do that? I'm like, wait, how do you figure out a prime number again?
Yeah, whenever I remember first learning about prime numbers, I was like, so it's just like odd numbers, and my teacher was like, oh no, and I was like, okay, sorry, didn't mean to do that.
That's that Southern education we boast,
Yep, that's
like 2 plus 2.
That's
is corn.
square root of beer is can of dip, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy. I feel like that might have been one of the kids in my high school's math final answer. You know?
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Are you comfortable talking about your location?
Yeah, I love talking about New Orleans.
Yeah, man. I grew up there, and it's like, I mean, it's home. I definitely don't want to live there anymore. It's hot. It's humid. There's a lot of bugs. There's a lot of potholes. I think I've broken 2 bike wheels just on potholes alone. So I'm good on living there. But gosh, it's culture, man. Denver doesn't have it like that.
I went to I went back to Hattiesburg a while back, and I have like the guy I bought my car from owns the shop, and was like, just come back if you need oil change, anything like that. And I was getting my oil change at the same time, and he was like, dude, how many curbs have you hit? And I was like, I live in New Orleans now. He goes, oh, okay, gotcha. And he just like on the house just rotated all my tires and even gave me a new set of cheap rims. I was like, I mean, that's what it is. Like, I'll be driving down the road and think that I just like slammed into a fire hydrant or something. No, it's just the road.
Dude, I had my like the front axle like come off the car. I hit a pothole. So like
I mean, they're vicious.
Like the drivetrain just like splitting. I don't know. I'm just throwing out car words, but it was it was real bad.
Yeah, if you see a puddle
from a pothole, dude,
that's insane. If you see a puddle in New Orleans, do everything you can to avoid it.
I got really good at like figuring out the width of clearance that I had in between tires. And so if I would see a pothole coming, I would like steer into it so that it would go in between. But you got to be risky, you know. You got to be careful there because that's a risky maneuver. Because sometimes like you'll miscalculate it left or right, you go straight into the thing. I'm like, damn, I just put myself in harm's way for no reason, huh?
Whenever you come off the road to get to my condo, like, been doing this for 2 years now. Nothing, like, do the same thing. I come up to the red light and I stop at the red light like you do. And
you do that? Dude, you're unlike most of New Orleans.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. But like about 2 or 3 months ago, I was starting to do that, and I noticed it was a little bumpier, and I was like, do I have a flat tire? I was like, no, it's fine. And like a couple of weeks ago, I did it, and like literally bounced my car. There's just 2 holes that just started like opening up in the road. I'm like, can we not find like a problem, like a solution for this problem that is ever present around here?
No, that is the solution. You know, if you've ever seen those the cars with like the hydraulics, people pay good money for that.
Yeah,
and you know, in New Orleans, they're innovative. They just build it into the road itself. You know,
always thinking 3008, baby.
Yeah, always think. Well, 2008 was a rough time for New Orleans. There's like 8 fully built homes there, and you know, New Orleans has gotten better now, and now they've got a Bitcoin meetup, so it's a real city finally.
Yeah. Actually, it actually was not like went better than I expected. I mean, I didn't know really what to expect. It was my first time going to a meetup since my first, I guess I call it first meetup. I went to one of the guys who's there. He was working with Pelican Institute for Public Policy and doing cryptocurrency stuff with writing bills, which I actually spoke on one at the house, which was cool. But that was a little different feel than like this one. It was just, I mean, we went to Chop Yard. We ate some fire food, had some drinks, and just ended up hanging out. Me and like 3 other guys ended up hanging out until like 2 in the morning or something like that, just talking about mining, and ended up converting me to What's Miner Maxi. And like it was just really fun, just like talking, chopping it up. It was super cool. I'm looking forward to. I think I want to say we might be meeting up this Friday, but I can't remember. I might be out of it.
It's this Friday because it's the week I'm not going to be there.
Yeah,
because I wanted to come make
I remember
show some support. But
yeah, I remember you said that you were you weren't going to be here, and that's when we tried to schedule it for. So
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, I think a couple people were out of town there, and you know, as much as I want to go to the meetup, I'm not going to change my travel plans for it. But
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
maybe
you know,
in the future.
maybe when Between Two ASICs blows up and I'm like a hot commodity, you might want to put a little more priority on it. But
that's literally my distribution strategy for getting guests. I'm like, who in a few years is gonna blow up, but is not blown up to such a degree now to where they will actually agree to come on my podcast. That's literally the strategy.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So it's like Sam Callahan, you know him?
That name sounds familiar.
He's like the think boy for Swan, and like I say that in the most endearing, supportive way. The dude is a freaking genius. Like writes all kinds of macro research for Swan, for their private client group. Well, he's done some like interviews with Preston Pish and like some of the big, Peter McCormick and like some of the bigger names. I think he's on one with Peter McCormick. You have so. But anyways, like Sam, this was like we were his first podcast they ever did. Same with Tyler Bain, who I think will be quite the podcast guest, recurring guest in a few years. He started the Denver Bitcoin Meetup, and he's a whiz when it comes to electricity grids. And he also wrote Bitcoin Mining for Dummies. So, under the radar type dude. So yeah, that's what we do. We find people who are gonna blow up, help them blow up, hope that their success we can just like ride on a fraction of their coattails. So.
Don't worry. Hey, look, I've always said if I make it, the whole team eats, and that includes New Orleans folk.
That's right. That's a Drake mentality. It's like my whole crew eat my whole. No. I'm gonna stop. This isn't Between Two ASICs. It's not supposed to be awkward.
Oh,
how do you prepare for the show? I mean, like honestly, obviously, there's a lot of work you do beforehand. It seems very like off the cuff. You just like wing it, but of course it's not.
Yeah, there's a degree of winging it, but a lot of the stuff I've loved Between Two Ferns for as long as I've seen it. And a lot of the stuff I have on my show is stuff that I've had for a while. I've always wanted to be like, I would love to do what Zach Galifianakis is doing, but I don't know who I would do it to. He already does it. I can't, just get these A-list celebrities or anything like that. And then I ended up getting into the Bitcoin space and was like, oh, wait, hold on. 2 and 2 together, and I already have been subconsciously writing these jokes, like the Dylan LeClaire, Will Clemente stuff back and forth. And so I was like,
those are two people?
No, not yet. But on Pomp's episode, I included a little bit of some of the stuff that I have. Wait,
I'm like, wait.
Oh,
I thought you
meant. I'm sorry. I screwed that up. I thought you were saying
you're supposed to be the funny guy.
I thought you were asking if those were two of my guests that I was having, but not yet.
No, it's just one guest.
Turns out they are actually two different people. Didn't know that until recently. But some of the stuff that I've written for them, and others, it's like the basis of it. And if I have one fire joke for someone, I'm like, okay, I got to get them. And then I start, writing other stuff. And I also have a lot of help from a lot of the friends I've made through Pomp's Crypto Academy, the ones that we've kind of stayed in touch and stuff. We have a Discord that I call it Pomp's Academy Unhinged. It's unofficial, not affiliated with Pomp. It's just people who met there, and we just completely just go off the rails and stuff. And we have different channels for each guest, and there's some brilliant minds that come up with some wild stuff. Some of it I wish I can include and record, but it's really far, testing the waters a little too much. I'm gonna walk that line but some of it's like, okay, that's a little too past the line. But it's
Can you give us an example? Like one what didn't make the cut, but it's like funny as hell. That won't get me canceled.
A lot of it is more of just like. So here's one with Dennis that
Dennis Porter.
Yeah. Oh crap! I actually can't remember exactly what it was, but someone dropped it. I'm actually going to see if I can pull it up because it was pretty freaking insane. Oh, here it is. Oh yeah. When it comes to actualizing changes in policy, do you really feel like political action committees are more effective in making change than smashing Pelosi's husband with a hammer? I was like, okay, that's fire, but also can't do that.
Yeah,
not gonna happen.
But like, answer the question.
But also, do you agree? But
that's how you got to deliver it. You got to like be like, hey, like I'm not actually asking this question, but like hypothetically, if I was going to answer this question, this is what the question would be, and like hypothetically, if you had an answer, what would that be?
Yeah, and with the stuff that I've recorded already, like first of all, Pomp, like first guest, first recording, I was low key a little bit starstruck, and so like. I was just like really trying to reserve. I was also using his equipment too, in his studio, and so I was like trying to really reserve that time, and just like make it like in and out. And there was a lot of stuff that I wish that I'm hoping that we might get a part 2 of Pomp. Can't guarantee that. Of course,
yeah.
But
you will.
but I think it would make sense. But I think with the recordings that we're doing with Pacific Bitcoin, well. I'm speaking future tense. I'll speak past tense because I'm going to do it. But the recordings that we did at Pacific Bitcoin, like, record a lot more than I'm actually going to use. Because my dad actually suggested he loves Casey Neistat, and he's like, Casey always says like, you're not recording for today or tomorrow when you release the video. You're recording for today, tomorrow, a month from now, a year from now. And you see that with Pomp. He like Andrew Tate blew up on the internet, and Pomp was like, "Oh yeah, we did an interview with him last year. Let's go ahead and release it." And it got like tons of traction. So
that's some smart business sense.
Yeah, he just like had it sitting in his pocket and was like, "Yeah, he's good. He's getting pretty popular online. So why not throw that interview out there?" So that's what I'm going to try to do is like. Just get all sorts of I gotta gauge it out to where like I do the softball funny questions first, and then like did you really just ask that questions at the end? But
yeah,
the cameras will
gotta
always
keep the
be
cliffhangers.
Rolling. Yeah, exactly.
Always have the camera roll. I made that mistake in the first 10 minutes. We were just chatting.
Yep.
How many are you? I mean, like. You probably haven't planned it out, but like, is there a certain number of episodes that you're trying to hit, like as a goal, part of the Geyser Fund, or are you just doing it until TBD?
Honestly, look, if I get Sailor, y'all have heard the last of me. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have it.
I was like, what are you gonna have 4 episodes then, bro? You know he's gonna come on.
No,
it's Sailor. Like I can't wait till that episode.
I don't have an end in sight. I have thought about the end. I mean, just because I've started different projects in all eras of my life that have, abruptly ended because I didn't like my streaming career. I was trying to, I got decently big-ish, and I made a lot of mistakes like on the come up, and really just plateaued, and I just kind of like. It was a soft ending, like it just kind of didn't ever keep going, and so I've tried to at least have that foresight, and I don't see an end in sight, but I know that there probably is going to be, and I'm just going to, be able to prepare for it. But for right now,
yeah, well, I mean, like,
I'm still way on the come up.
Yeah. I mean, shows like that do seasons for a reason. I mean, it's. Lot
Between Two Ferns hasn't released an episode in 5 years or something.
Right.
So,
right.
And it's still great. So
right, and that's the thing. If you make quality content, you put your all into it, then you don't necessarily need to, have thousands of episodes or something like that. So no, I was just curious. Like, I didn't know if you were going to go for like 21 guests or something like that. Cause it's, it's a type of show that I can imagine, like, eventually it'll be harder and harder to write content for.
Yeah.
And you'll run out of like the, Bitcoin celebrities, but, yeah, dude, it's super funny. I sent it to my family. I sent it to my friends. I sent it to my enemies, especially my enemies, because,
Yeah,
that's what you do.
Fun thing that not a lot of people, I haven't really publicized yet. I'm trying to make sure that I publicize it right, because I'm definitely going to milk this for everything that it's worth. I actually had 2 contenders for the first episode. One was Pomp. Obviously, he won. The other was Corey Clipston. And they, if anyone listening is unaware, are mortal enemies. And Corey was like, "Do you have an episode you can show me?" And I said, "Ooh, wow, that's crazy. No, but I will. But it's going to be Pomp." I didn't tell him that part, but I was like, "I'll send you something." Come to find out, after I he followed me on Twitter first before I followed him, and I was like, "Oh, sweet." Come to find out, when I started promoting the episode with Pomp, he blocked me. And so now I'm going to Pacific Bitcoin, Swan's Bitcoin event, and going to basically beg for him to unblock me very publicly. And we'll see where that goes. But I've done so much planning. Like, that scene from, I can't remember the movie. I forget the movie title, but where the guy's holding up the boombox. I'm gonna dress up like that, holding up an ASIC, and
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I want to milk it for everything, but I mean, that's all I'll say on the matter, because I don't want to,
Yeah, well, this will come out after. This will come out after too, but that's gonna be funny. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I just think it's so like.
Yeah, Corey doesn't like a lot of people. Fun fact. I also have a fun fact about Corey on Twitter. He was the first person ever to follow me. Was like
your one follower, was Corey?
My first follower was Corey, and I looked and I thought he was a bot, because I was like, I have 0 followers. Who is this person? But I had Bitcoin in my bio. And he followed me. And then within 5 minutes, I got a DM from him about Swan. And it was like, "Hey, check out Swan Bitcoin."
How long ago was this?
Several years ago. And he was like, "Yeah, check out Swan Bitcoin." I think it was like early 2020, 2 years ago. And then he was like, "Yeah, check out Swan Bitcoin." And I was like, "Yo, I'm actually already signed up. I'm already a customer. That's why I got Bitcoin in my bio. I just found Bitcoin Twitter. Hello."
What's up?
And
my
like,
people.
I mean, that was like literally day one of Twitter, or Bitcoin Twitter for me. Yeah, Corey's my first follower, dude. He's a interesting, very opinionated personality. I really like Swan. I love what the content they put out. I really like the Swan Studios, the Cafe Bitcoin. So, you don't necessarily have to love the CEO to love the company, but yeah, Corey, man, Bitcoin's the industry is not lacking in eccentric characters to interview for your show. Put it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope that Corey unblocks you and comes on the show, because he's got long flowing hair, and I got to see him, ask him about what kind of shampoo he uses. So
I mean, we've riffed about that on my Twitter before. Like, I used to actually have longer hair than Corey has right now, and I like tagged him, I was like, who had better hair, peak degen Tatum or Chad bro Corey? And he was like, "Tatum, your hair beats mine." And I was like, "Thanks, bro."
Maybe that's why
now
he
I'm
blocked
blocked.
you. Maybe no, like I think we literally just figured that out in real time. That's why he blocked you. It wasn't the Pomp thing.
Yeah, he's salty about shit coins and shampoo. That was stupid.
It's all right, man. Not every joke's a banger, you know.
Yeah, that's what my entire show is based off of.
Yeah, well, you got to watch out for those bangers. That's why you.
Some of the best
bulletproof
parts.
vest.
Some of the best parts of the show is that like some of the jokes are like fall so flat that they are funny, and
yeah,
that's
it's all in how you handle it.
Exactly.
Have you watched like a lot of stand up about like comedic timing and like facial reactions? And I figured because like that you showed the sort of. I mean, I don't know what the conversation was in person, obviously, because of the editing, but like, regardless of how it was in person, based on the editing and the timing in person, you showed a clear mastery of like comedic, you know, like timing and like when I saw the first teaser of the Pomp episode and I watched it and it was like a 15-second clip or something, and I was like, looked, and it was like 8 seconds of silence, and I'm like, is something wrong with my I'm like trying to turn up my volume. I know other people have told you this. I'm like trying to turn up my volume, and I'm like, oh, he literally just like looked at each other for 8 seconds. It was so funny. I watched it 15 times, dude. Easily. I'm not exaggerating.
I was so pleased with that. Like that, I was like, man, that was real uncomfortable, but like, it was perfect.
It was good. Like when I saw it, I was like, all right, I'm hyped for this show. Because like when you were starting to market it before, I was like, all right, well, this guy tweets about funny stuff, and he seems like a cool guy. And we had chatted a bit on Telegram, but like you hadn't. I saw you were like raising money on Geyser, and you hadn't. I was like, well, let me see how let's see how the first episode is. And when I saw the teaser, I was like, okay, this is gonna be really funny. And like to your credit too, I mean, and your editor's credit. Pomp like went on a soapbox about like, I didn't fast forward, but my ear, I stopped listening like actively, and because I was reading the little scroll bar that you guys put at the bottom, which was making me laugh my ass off. So
no, I was actually
did a great job.
I was really worried so I did all of the like the chopping up and everything, and I sent it to my manager. Didn't even ask him like to edit. He wasn't going to edit or anything like that. He just kind of went for it. Ended up being amazing. But like, I was like, okay, those two blurbs that he has, that's going to make everything flop. And son, he came in with that scroll bar, and I was crying laughing. Like he was referencing like 8 Sleep and actually
the 8 dude, the 8 I was dead. The 8 Sleep thing. Isn't Pomp sponsored by 8 Sleep?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So good, bro.
And then there was the role like, now for another ad. It's like, just kidding, don't have any sponsors. If you want to sponsor, hit me up at Tatum at Between2ASICs.com. That actually worked 3 times. So we're still working out some deals and stuff, but
amazing.
Yeah, I was like, Carl, you son of a gun, like you you did this,
dude.
But yeah,
heck yeah, man, dude. You got to surround yourself with good people, talented people. They say like if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're doing it wrong, or something to that effect.
Something like that.
I definitely want to get an editor at some point, because it's a lot to do. Not only is it just like a lot of work to do, like, produce episodes like this but like, and the editing and all, but just the overall creative element that other people can add. Like, I'm not, I'm already doing all the talking. It's like, let somebody else, or like, one side of the talking, like let somebody else who's better at that, like, specialize in it.
Yeah, literally any visual effects that you saw, including text, including the laser eyes, like, the Will and Dylan face morph, like that entirety was all I didn't even come up with Will and LaClinte. Like that was all Carl. Carl literally carried Between Two ASICs on his back with that one. Like he is the bomb, and hopefully we can get some good stuff going here soon. A lot of stuff lined up. We're hopefully, I mean, right now we're lined up with releases. We're going to try to do everything about 3 weeks apart. We're lined up with releases to, I think, February, if we do that. But, I mean, anything can happen. We're just trying to, feel it out. A lot of the stuff also is, like, time sensitive. Like, we were talking, like, the cast iron stainless steel pan question that I asked Pomp. Like, that wouldn't have worked if I aired that, like, a week and a half later.
Right.
And so we're trying to make it fit with all of that, but also have some of that timeless content where I can release it, in a month or something like that.
I never got in on the pan wars. I just, from the sidelines, as someone who cooks all the time, growing up in New Orleans, there's only like 3 things you do. You cook gumbo with a beer in your hand while you're listening to music. Like that's like that is your every night.
Exactly.
But like as someone who cooks all the time, I was like really disappointed. I saw nobody mention carbon steel. What are these like stainless steel versus cast iron? Like this is an either or type thing. No, dude, I'm a carbon steel maxi. It's it's much more lightweight than your stainless steel. It's got the non-stick properties of your cast iron. It doesn't rust like cast iron, and it's not as heavy. It's like, dude, I wanted to like start a whole thing and be like, everyone's wrong. But at that time, Bitcoin was just like crashing.
Everyone's just
like,
depressed.
honestly, like I'm just gonna get off Twitter altogether. I don't need to be like dying on this hill. This is not the one. So
yeah,
carbon steel.
I learned once I moved to New Orleans that like you don't buy new cookware; it's always passed down, and it looks like it was made in 1800. Sometimes it was, but
yeah, it's like the last time they paved the roads.
Right, exactly.
They had the leftover materials, and they were like, all right, let's make some pans. And these will last for a few. We'll have roads and pans in 2050. We'll redo it then.
Also, I learned that if you use any measuring cups, like you can get out of here. Like it's eyeballs and tasting. And
oh yeah,
I've learned that's pretty much that works. Like you just gotta not be a little pansy about it.
I always measure stuff now, but literally like before I moved to Colorado, I don't think I ever measured anything. I don't know why that changed actually.
The environment. I mean, that's just it's just kind of like New Orleans gives you this kind of intuition. But
it's just I somehow know what a tablespoon is when I'm at 30, 90 latitude, longitude. Yeah.
Now you're in Denver. Like, what am I doing?
What's this meter?
Oh. Yeah. Oh, dude, something about New Orleans versus Denver that I thought was crazy. This also comes back into Bitcoin as well, full circle. So, we opened up a service center in Denver, and we were getting it like.
Who is we? Just for
we is in
don't know.
Yeah. Compass Mining. We had a service center that opened up, so we can start doing repairs in house rather than sending them off to Bitmain. And around the time they were doing that, all of our mining operations crew was in Colorado Springs getting certified to do board level repairs. And so there was one person at the warehouse to like organize everything. And I was like, I'm going to get my hands dirty. You need some help? And they were like, really? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I went up there for a week and was helping kind of just like organize everything and get everything set up.
How big is the new Denver facility?
See, I'm not good with estimations. If I saw a crowd of people between
is it bigger
20
than a grocery store or smaller than a grocery store?
It's probably average grocery store size, maybe.
It's like smaller than a Walmart, bigger than a Rouse's.
Yeah, I'd say.
Nobody knows what a Rouse's is. That's listening.
I'd say it's close to Rouse's. Maybe a little smaller, I think. But I mean, there's also like several different units and stuff. Like there's one actual warehouse that has like workbenches and stuff. and then a bunch of storage elsewhere.
Okay. And it's in so Compass has set up a new hosting facility in Denver.
No hosting in Denver.
No hosting.
Just the service center. And office.
Service. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the new service center, and do they do What's Miners and Ant Miners? Because you're talking about getting Bitmain certified, right?
Yeah. What's Miners are a lot different. They're just tanks. I like I said, I'm a What's Miner maxi. But
now you are. You weren't before.
No, not at all. But we are able to most of the stuff that we sell is Ant Miners. So we have several, I don't know how many actually, a good handful of people are now Bitmain certified. Do board level, chip level repairs on Ant Miners, which our most common is probably S19J Pros.
Right, because it just surely when you all started the company,
I always also forget that like the industry is super young. Like Bitcoin is 13 years old. Commercial mining it's a stretch to say it's 5 years old. Compass mining is like 2 years old.
A year and a half, yeah.
And so it's not like any of this stuff is ancient, but most of our stuff is S19J Pros, and we're moving into XPs. But hopefully, I mean, we have. I don't want to say that we have any M50s, What's Miners. I'm not completely positive, actually. I love the M50 series from What's Miner, though. Like, those things are tanks.
Between two M50s soon.
Yeah. I mean, who was it that...
It's a business expense, technically.
Right? Exactly. I can just write it off.
Part of the set. It's a prop.
That's just a casual, like, what, $10K for two.
That's good
two
considering considering like the 100 terahashes were $10K a year ago.
Yeah, seriously, like
now you're getting 140 or 150 terahash for that.
Dude, I bought an S19 for sub $2,000, 90 terahash. I think it might have been like in total like $1,900. It was like,
was that before the pump or more recently?
No, this was like a month or two ago.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I mean, granted, someone was selling it a lot less than it should have been, but still, like, someone would have been taking that thing for probably $10K this time last year.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, like, it ended up being like $15 a terahash or something like that. I was like, no shot I let this go.
Yeah, that's pretty good, especially if you've got heating costs during the winter.
Right, yeah.
Like in Colorado here, like, I mean, I didn't know what cold was until I moved here, but, we like run heaters throughout the winter and like pretty regularly every day. So
get you an S9 or something.
Nah. Ain't worth it. If I didn't have a space heater already, I would. But I don't even want to spend the $100 up front because it's literally going to lose money. So
right, yeah. I mean,
if I didn't have like the opportunity, if I didn't have the sunk cost of the space heater already, then I probably would. Because like it put it this way, if I had no space heater and it came and I had the $50 to spend, and I was going to buy a $50 space heater, a $50 amp miner, I would buy the $50 amp miner because I could also make it a white noise machine. But, aside from that, dude, yeah. I've had like 4 episodes about mining recently, and I have learned it is a awfully hard 10 more awfuls business. And the publicly traded mining stocks are, if you need evidence to further prove
they're
that.
dominoes right now.
Dude, dominoes, more like decimated. Like, let's see how many words we can think of with D. Destruction. Destroyed.
Yeah. Okay.
Devastation. Death,
delusion.
Dilution. Decay. Downward spiral.
Just dead. Just dead.
Disappointing. Disgusting. Really, dude, why is there so many like
there's a lot of like negative D words.
Negative D words. Like I'd never even really thought about that.
I haven't either.
They just
Dilapidated.
Dilapidated. Their shareholders are.
Yeah. Dude,
I'm shocked at how many D words evoke a sense of uncomfortability or dismay. Oh, dismay. There's another one. Who said that Southern education wasn't good after all?
Yeah. You thought that my math final was easy. You should have seen my English final, obviously.
Man, I got a 31 in reading on the ACT. I'm proud of that. Really did.
15 in math, but
yeah, it don't matter. That's why I work in sales.
But
hey, the Bitcoin network calculates the hashes for me. That's what the miners are all for, right? You're just like, let me do a little calculation 100 trillion times a second so we don't have to.
Yeah, there's also like being in the consumer mining business is like a lot different because there's a lot of people who, I mean, it's what we were made for, but there are a lot of people who don't understand mining from anything. Like some guy recently was freaking out that like he thought his machine was being unhealthily overclocked because he has a 100 terahash machine and he saw it hit like 153 and then he saw it hit like 175 and I was like, first of all, I wouldn't be complaining, but second of all, like no, like it averages out to the sticker price or sticker hash rate and but he thought that we were just like overclocking the hell out of it and destroying the boards, and it's cool whenever I do get to like teach on that, but it's not cool whenever people like think that they know more than they do.
Tell me about it.
but like I love, that's one of my favorite aspects of working in like consumer pleb mining, is just like some people will call and like they'll have questions about, how do they choose a pool. I love talking about mining pools. I use Mempool's mining dashboard all the time for like visualizations, and like every time I send it to someone, they're like, oh my god, this is exactly what I was looking for. Like I had no idea Brains Pool was so small.
Get it right,
bro. By the way, Brains has been going insane today. But
what,
like
mining blocks left and right? Bing,
yeah,
ding, ding.
I hear that like,
ding, ding.
I want to say they got like 15 blocks today or something like that. But
that's 10%.
But like, yeah, it's been super fun to like teach people, and just have those conversations about people who are like with people who are eager to learn. Dude, okay, my girlfriend's parents actually like I knew that the price action was bad whenever like I stopped paying attention a while back, but I did pay attention whenever my girlfriend's parents who don't know anything about Bitcoin messaged me and said, "Are you okay? I saw the Bitcoin price." And I was like, "Oh, I need to check that." And it was like, "Oh, 17,000. How did they know?" But
yeah. They know I was crying on the toilet right now.
Yes, I'm fine, but can you please send me some money?
Yeah, dude. Some of my friends got in like at the higher, prices, like in the 40s and 50s, and I think most of them I did a pretty good job of being like, "Yo, this shit is volatile, but like, just
open
chill.
Open your time preference." Like,
yeah.
That's whenever that's the harder conversation to have,
dude. It is, because it's like, all right, from a metaphoric or like from a conceptual standpoint. Yeah, like lower your time preference, be patient, like we were just talking about, right? But at the same time, dude, like life is short, so
stack sats.
Life is short. I don't want to wait forever to live and enjoy and do the things I want to do. So I don't know. I think it's about more so finding a happy balance that works for you in between.
Yeah,
there.
I was actually having this conversation with a friend of mine last week, and he was like trying to understand it, but on the side of kind of like attacking it a little bit, but still wanting to like understand. And I told him like it's different for like what Bitcoin is different for everyone. Like to some people it might be a long-term investment. To some people it might be a a spending mechanism. Some people it might be just a store of value to sit on forever. But like it really just depends on what you want and need. That I think kind of tells you, where you can find that like you said, happy medium of what Bitcoin is to you. I think it just changes for every person.
Well, what great segue. Like what is it to you? Because it
Get
is
rich
different
quick
to everyone.
No, I'm just
Get
kidding.
rich quick.
No, pump and dump. No.
Did you say pump and dump?
Oh, what? Gotta go. No, I guess like
Can't believe he took his laser eyes off, bro.
I gave him a bunch of different options.
I know. I saw it, dude. Bro, oh my god, that episode was so funny. Yo, if you haven't watched Between Two ASICs yet, check it out at youtube.com/Tatum
Turn Up.
/Tatum Turn. Did you get a handle? They launched a YouTube
I got that notification. I have not done it yet, but I think
you better go grab it before I sweep it and then try to sell it to you for 500,000 sats.
They said it was reserved for me though, so I did my research at least.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, I would be hopping all over that.
I got Value Stack. YouTube.com/@ValueStack is now the handle. It's much easier than channel UC893FD1, whatever.
Did you not get a custom URL?
I did. I got, because you have to have like 100 subscribers to get a custom URL. And I went over that, but by the time I got over that, they had already sort of temporarily brought the custom URLs down in preparation for launching the handles. So it was like in this like no man's zone period where I couldn't, even though I was eligible for it, I couldn't actually make a custom URL until they had launched the handles. So now we're up there. We're out there. We're official now. I tweeted earlier today. I was like, "Behold," and literally no one liked it. So I felt like you when I tweet sometimes.
I didn't see it, but I'm going to go back and find it so I can like
please
it. Just
do.
make sure.
By the time I post this episode, it will have 1 like. I'm confident of that.
You should link it in the description just so everyone can go back to.
Yeah, it's like, please, if you
just
do
like
nothing else, don't
like
subscribe. Just like that tweet, please.
Hey guys, if you've listened this far, go to this tweet and like it, so he knows that he's loved.
And put "I listened." See. And if you are listening on Fountain, drop us a tip or what do they call them? Clips. Clip this episode, because you can do that. You can clip other people's content. Please clip this episode because I have my hands full. So like, but I know there's gonna be some fire clips that Tatum's got. So. Dude, the guy wears a bulletproof vest. Like, I mean, of course he's going to have some funny one-liners, You wear, actually, you don't wear a bulletproof vest. You wear what I would call an insurance broker's outfit with, baggy. I imagine, and I haven't seen it because I think you cut the top from the top, but like, I imagine your pants are very baggy. And you have some laceless loafers, right? That's the insurance broker look.
You're close, but no. Have you not seen the picture of me walking down the road on my Twitter?
Oh, yeah. You did have the khaki pants on.
Yeah, I had the khaki pants. I tried making them. I took the, like, as not as baggy as because I put one. I lost a lot of weight and like, they were sagging. But I actually wear my Atoms, my Bitcoin Atoms that I got
tight.
from Fold with them.
I wanted Atoms.
Dude, they are comfortable. Like not even like capping. They are extremely like my go-to shoe.
I was pretty frustrated with them, and I wound up not getting a pair because they had like a gift card on Fold.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like a $200 gift card you could buy on Fold to get like sats back or whatever. And I was like, yo, the shoes are $150. I just want to buy a $150 gift card, Oh, there's like a motorcycle going, dude, the people. I was like, oh, I want to buy like a $150 gift card and then like pay the rest with credit card. And they were like, well, you can't do that. You got about $200. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna buy the shoes then, because like I'm gonna have $45 in Adams bucks that I'm never gonna use again, because you literally say these shoes are supposed to last me forever if I treat them well. So
I can't. I actually that was probably the first memory I had of Fold, or one of the first memory. Actually, crazy enough, first memory I had of Fold, the first sponsored wheel, Compass Mining. But
I remember that.
They actually did. I confirmed, because I was like, when I got in, I was like, hey, did anyone get a freaking ASIC? And they were like, yeah, we actually gave away like 5. And I was like, oh, interesting.
Wow.
But
We did the wheel too, Casa.
oh yeah, that's right. That I can't remember when that was. I'm a friend of Fold, and so I'm in the spin zone. So like I get all the sorts of insider info. Just FYI to rub that in your face.
Yeah, Will Reeves was on the podcast before you. Just
really,
so you know.
dude, Will is so cool. I actually I talked to Matt about getting him on Between Two ASICs. We hung out in Miami.
Will's funny as hell, dude. You should get him on the show.
My man is so chill. Like he was one
Absolutely.
of the like coolest dudes I've ever met in my entire life. I was like, you are awesome.
Yeah, man, great leader. I met his wife. She's the designer of the Bitopoly game.
Yep. And
I think
actually
they both kind of co-created it.
I've used Bitopoly to orange pill a few friends, turned into a little drinking
we played
game.
it at the Halloween party here
Really?
last weekend.
Dude.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like we played Monopoly Deal first, which is like the Monopoly. You know, it's like what they kind of modeled the game after. We played Monopoly Deal. I was like, all right, if you think this is fun, let's play it with Bitcoin. I went to the bathroom. I walked in. The whole fucking room was empty. So.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well,
you know, it is what it is, dude. You know, they'll all be coming back and talking about Bitcoin again when it's 200K, and you know,
told you so.
yeah. I mean, that's why I left the traditional finance, because I was just like, look, I can't go through this like manipulation, ups and down cycles, Fed rates, the fact that like even today was a Fed meeting. Jay Powell Hulk smashed the economy again with a 75 basis point raise. And so like, we're the whole freaking global economy harps on like what a couple people in their 70s or above say about in a press release. Like, it doesn't matter what their age is, but like it is somewhat relevant because, literally the population is mostly represented by young people globally. That's kind of how it works. As you get older, you die. So the population is skewed towards young people, and they aren't represented because they kind of have that moral hazard. It's like, don't matter. I ain't going to be here in 10 years. Who cares what the long-term effects are? So anyway, I was like, finance sucks. I'm out. Therefore, I'm out. And it's gone.
It's gone.
I was like, something out. So why did you, it was more of like a morality thing for me. I couldn't like when I left my old company, I couldn't go back to another financial firm. And so I've started looking for stuff in Bitcoin. Why did you leave?
I mean, it was also kind of like a moral thing. Like so I worked for an insurance agency, and like I didn't want to, but this guy was, it was a very intricate and corporate pyramid scheme, and I was, that young buck who was great for my background was great for this, and like this was a Fortune 100 company that I was working for, and I didn't at the time. I was like learning about Bitcoin and learning why it was better than fiat currency, and so like I couldn't. It wasn't like a conflict of interest or anything. Like it was just I couldn't really sell a product that I didn't believe in based on the research that I did.
Totally same here, man.
I was like, and also like I wasn't making money off of it either, and I don't think it would have changed if I was like making really good money. Like I just didn't believe in any of that crap anymore, and I mean, we saw it happen in the kind of general crypto sphere with Celsius and all these other lenders that were crashing down, and that's eventually just going to happen with TradFi. But is it going to be soon? Not necessarily. The whole global system is based off of it, so it's not going to, it's not in more imminent danger of liquidity or anything. But like, there is definitely like dominoes that are about to start falling, and I think the dominoes are actually starting to fall. It's just a matter of how big are the dominoes going to get to another just absolute decimation of another D word of financial crisis.
Did we not? Actually, we didn't say.
I lost track.
I feel like I might have said decimation.
I think you actually did. Now that I think of it,
these are the real sound bites that people watch this show for.
Exactly.
For their increase their D vocabulary.
Yeah, a bunch of D words. But yeah, I just hated it because I didn't believe in it, and I aped out without a plan too. I was just like, this is literal hell every day. I woke up and screamed.
Dude, it's amazing to enjoy what you do. I mean, there are, it's still work. But at the same time, like, I don't get paid to do value stack. And I will be straight up with you, it feels way more like work than the stuff I do for Casa. Not this part where like we chat and bullshit and all, but
it's the stuff outside of it, man.
The post production, the editing, the marketing, the threads, the tagging, the topic, the thinking of what the topics are going to be. Like, that is a lot of work.
Whenever I was streaming, they one of the biggest things that people didn't understand was like the actual stream that you tuned into was the easiest part of the entire job.
Totally. Like, if I could just do this.
Job is very loose.
Right. Well, it's a job that you pay for.
Right, exactly.
It's like, no, maybe we all need to go back to economics. That's Southern math, 15 on the ACT, bro. But, so Tyler, my last guest on the show, he asked why you wear a bulletproof vest. So we talked a little bit like about it, but where did you get that idea from? And does it protect you? Is it real?
Just in case. Some guy was wearing a bulletproof vest, like, not in a war zone. And I was like, that looks cool. And so I got on Amazon and I looked up bulletproof vest, probably got put on a list, but found one and I ordered it. And then I was like, yeah, this is cool. Wore it like once for no reason. I was like, why did I get this? But then there was a call that I had that was like a business related call. And so I had my dress shirt and tie on and I was on it. Hey, what's up? Business, gotta go. Then I hopped on another call like immediately after, and it was like I think it was Pomp's Academy alumni meetup. And I was like, I don't want to change my clothes, but I want to put on this bulletproof vest because I think it'd be hilarious. And someone like grabbed a screenshot. It was a really low quality one of me like sitting like this, looking off to the side with my headphones, and it was my profile picture for a while. And I was like, that's my brand now. It's going to be my entire personality. But also, it's a plate carrier. It doesn't have anything in it. Like, if you shot me with that, I would die.
Good to know.
I keep saying that. I probably don't need to.
You should probably not tell people that it's not real.
It's actually really real, and I was just messing with you. I will never die if you shoot me with it on.
Well, don't give people reasons to try crap. Either.
Dang it!
Do you know Neil Ronan Miner?
I think I know who you're talking about.
He at Bitblock Boom. He brought a keg of White Claw. I think it was his personal keg of White Claw, if I recall.
Personal White Claw keg.
If I recall correctly, or maybe it wasn't a keg. Maybe it was either a keg or it was a pallet of White Claws, like a full pallet. This is Bitcoin, Bitblock Boom 2021, dude. So like price was pumping. We had just came out of the China mining ban. Hash rate was at like plummeted. miners were just making money hand over fist because the hash rate dropped so hard, and then the price started going back up to like 40, 50K. And Neil was just having the time of his life, dude. Anyway, he shows me, he's like, hey, want to see this? And he like shows me, and he's like, yeah, I was wearing a bulletproof vest, and I shot myself on the side to see if it worked. And I was like, this guy's crazy.
Oh my God.
And he's like, this is what Bitcoin miners do? All right. I'm not sure I want to be a miner. Anyway, come to find out, like, this is an important part of the story. A year later, I asked Neil, I'm like, dude, like after I was like, why didn't you shoot the bulletproof vest with it not on you? Like, you could have still been able to tell. And he was like, dude, I didn't shoot myself. He's like, I think he said he like bumped into a countertop or something. And I was like, dude, you literally had me. Cause I was like, this guy's just crazy enough. He might have shot himself.
I love that. That's insane. That's psychopath behavior. That's an absolute power move though. Like ordering pallets to a party. Like, I'm gonna start doing that.
It was, dude. And I here I am a year and a half later talking about it. So, yeah, he taught me quite a bit about like airflow, like what do you call it, like CFM and voltage and amps, and like how to figure out like if you were gonna like overload it, and like three phase versus one single phase power. Like
so much goes into it.
You master Bitcoin, and it's like great, cool. Now go learn about electricity.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's a whole now you've got electricity down. Go learn about airflow and like what the laminar effect or whatever the hell that is. You know, I don't even know. I'm just making up words. I start with a D. So
I have a friend who was he did a lot of commercial cannabis grow operations, and he's wanting to get into mining, and he was like, I don't know what I don't know. Like, I just want to know about like mining and stuff. And I was like, well, bro, based on what you've told me, like running these massive facilities, it sounds like you know the actual hard part of Bitcoin mining. You just have to learn the concepts of like what it is. It's amazing how much overlaps in it. Like, I want to make a Venn diagram of like cannabis grow operations and Bitcoin mining, because it's very close to a perfect circle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, being in Colorado, you know, it's like one of the biggest, industries relative to other states here, right? It's like most countries don't have a cannabis industry, but Colorado does.
Right, exactly.
And we got our mail-in ballot because I was thinking about this yesterday, because we got the mail-in ballot, and I was like, dang, I remember voting in Louisiana, having to like wait in line at the like middle school, and then like get there in the little booth, and I'm like, wait, I don't know what any of these bills mean, and I can't understand the language, and like this and that. Dude, Colorado's so like far ahead of that. They're like, okay, here's the ballot in the mail. Fill it out in your free time. By the way, here's a website that explains to you like you're 5 what these actually mean, even though it's already in plain English. I'm a Bitcoiner, like, you know, 15 on the ACT, you know what I'm saying? So I can't keep track of which one it was. Was it math or English that I was bad at?
Probably.
Yes is the answer. But I don't know. I forgot what I was saying.
Basically, Colorado elections are a lot easier because you know what you're doing.
Yeah, they mail them in, and like I have time to actually make an informed decision and think about like the politics, instead of just gun to the head, like I need to get out of here as quick as possible, because this voting station is like, I'm getting a lot of dirty looks. So
yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's but anyway, the reason I bring up the Colorado voting is because yesterday on the ballot, Colorado has a measure to legalize psychedelic mushrooms.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it'll pass too. It's not like this the
commercialized,
it's not like the cannabis industry where you just like go on the street and buy it. Like, it's like a medicalized industry. So, but you know, dude, like people with PTSD and people with
I have not had
insomnia.
Any idea. Yeah, I've had no idea that like any of the like actual beneficial effects of like magic mushrooms have had for people. Like that, I didn't know that people sometimes will just like microdose for like a cup of coffee, basically. And
yeah, they'll just like grind it up and put it in their drink. Yeah, I mean, people in Silicon Valley do that a lot. You know, they're like, I hear people in Silicon Valley do that. I don't actually know what people do in their morning coffee in Silicon Valley. Like, I have no clue. But
it's got a little something else too, I think.
Yeah, but I see. But yeah, dude, it's good though. I think it's like, yo, it's what it's fostering is conversation. It's like less things illegal, more things legal, education encouraged, banning discouraged. That is like, take that framework, apply it to almost everything. Like, instead of China, okay, the United States, like, I think the United States has Bitcoin plan is Bitcoin adoption as far as government has been pretty pathetic. But when you compare it to other countries, they've done relatively well. Like, okay, China banned Bitcoin last year, and Finland, every single time you move a UTXO, it's a taxable event. So like, even if you send Bitcoin from your one wallet of yours to another, taxable event.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's absurd. So like, there's all kinds of like Russia's not. I don't know. Point is that America isn't doing great. You know, I wouldn't give them like a 10 to 10 on Dancing with the Stars, but what I would say is that like, there are some silver linings. Like, at least we didn't ban it. Like, Biden's administration commissioned a executive order not to ban it, but to study it. And that's what needs to be happening. Like, the government needs to study, understand, ask questions, be told they're wrong by people like Matt Odell and all Troy Cross and all the other people who I'm not even going to keep naming names. I'll be here for 10 minutes, but like the people who know the subject matter, those are the ones that, like, as long as the politicians are asking questions, be all right. But the second they start acting like the customers who are like, oh, let me tell you, I know how mine. And it's like, bro, you just said you had a What's Miner S19. It's like, dude,
Oh my God, I'll never forget the moment I heard. I can't remember who it was. It was a politician though. I remember that much. They said that they were like, this is a Bitcoin miner, and they held up like, I want to say they held up a Raspberry Pi. And like, there was a period, like, I thought this was satire, but I don't think it actually was. This was in like this wasn't like on a national scale or anything. Like, this was very niche. They held up a Raspberry Pi. They were like, this is a Bitcoin miner, and it consumes more electricity than our town does in an entire year. And I was like, who told you that? Like, there's so many questions that statement.
I have more questions than responses.
Right. Yeah. But like, it is the fact of like, when they start, as long as they're asking the right people, like, they're like, okay, we're going to do research on it. Do research from the proper people, not necessarily the people who are stuffing your pockets, because, whether one way or the other, like, you don't need to follow the money. You need to know, like, just know what it is. I mean, that's a lot to ask for in American politics, but
totally. No, like, I love to make fun of Dennis Porter as an individual because he's just a funny guy, like, to make fun of, like, in a endearing way. But I've met the guy in person and, like, could not be more, like, impressed with how, like, I mean, he started the Satoshi Action Fund, and, like, that's his, like, from what I understand, that's his money that he's, like, putting some of his money in it. And I mean, of course, he's, like, fundraising. It's a nonprofit, but it's not a 501c3. It's a 501c4, which is different for, like, political action. But point being, it's like, like, there are some people, like Troy Cross, another good example, Bitcoin Policy Institute, Coin Corner, I believe, is that or Coin Center, which was the one that did. Whatever they are.
Yeah. Everything's coin. Coin, right. Bit, block.
Who decided to name it Bitcoin? Jeez. People like Dennis, people like Troy, just as examples. Alex Gladstein is another good one. Human Rights Foundation.
He was going to be a guest, but backed out.
dang, he's a little his the work that he does is very serious.
Yeah.
Like, and not in a bad way, but like serious, and like he's dealing with some very like just like he's in third world countries, and and like dealing with some extreme poverty, and like
like he's like in the trenches. Like
like I don't know if like, and I don't know Alex at all, but like I don't know if like he's the right guest for like a comedic type show. But at the same time, like I
kind of just wanted to meet him because I liked his book.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's if you've ever like heard about like Buddhist teachings and stuff, it's like Buddhism's all like very serious, and sit around and meditate forever, sit under a tree and contemplate, it's like serious tone, but like in fact it's like very like Buddhists or some of the like like I've heard like an example where I was like listening to a lecture where the guy was like, yes, and then the guy farted and he was like, enlightenment, I see. And he was like, no dude, I just farted. Like there is no lesson here at all. So like point being that like sometimes even if someone does like serious work or like does some very important work, it can still be life is about finding joy in the small things. So I hope he does, because I think you did a good job with Pomp, and I'm really looking forward to McCormick's episode. So if you can make Pomp funny, you can probably make Alex Epstein. Not Alex Epstein, Alex Gladstein, but Alex Epstein's probably another person you can have.
Look, I can't like. There's a joke somewhere there about Alex Epstein and Gladstein, but I think
we just uncovered it. I mean, I literally like mistakenly mentioned them, and they're both Bitcoiners that are controversial. Well, Alex Gladstein's not really controversial, but
there's been like some not necessarily controversy, but people calling people out on debates and stuff recently.
Anytime you or say anything with where you're like, yo, I'm convicted about this and I'm not backing down. Like you take a stance, people are gonna, bring it on, haters. Dude, I would love for people to just shit talk the value stack comments, because that means people are actually watching the videos.
Dude, haters.
They're just shit talking the comments. They paused it and then shit talk the comments.
We had this conversation at Pomp Studio when we were recording, and we were like, the people who like hate comment on YouTube videos are doing more work for your video than the people who enjoy watching it. Like they're putting in the watch time, and they're the ones that are like putting forth that effort of like putting that comment in, which bumps you up on the algorithm just a little bit.
And they're probably like rewatching that 15-second clip to
show their friends like, look at this guy. Look this guy said this stupid
thank
shit.
You. You just made my engagement spike like crazy in that spot.
Awesome. Now send it to your friend now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Make sure you use that share link too, so there's that tracking info.
Yeah. I was actually surprised that not 100% of my views were external. Like some of them were like, I can't remember the terminology, but like natural.
Organic, you mean?
Yeah, organic. Yeah.
Yeah, I have that sometimes. Surprisingly, to the same point, it says that only 84% of my listeners, at least last time I checked, it was 84% were the United States. And so the other 16% must be VPNs. Damn it, you took the joke.
Sorry.
Comedic timing, bro.
Oh, my fault. Man, that's the second joke that I've ruined tonight. My bad.
It's all right. That was the only two I had, so we'll wrap up here. So I would like to ask you, like, what's one thing that you could tell someone who listens to the show about Bitcoin that they probably don't know, or maybe something that would like interest them? Something about Bitcoin that would be like, make them stop and think.
Miners do not solve complex math problems. That is the hill that I'm dying on. But what no, they just guess. They just guess a bunch of crazy ass numbers. A lot of times, really quick. Learn what the actually don't. It's not the metric. I don't know if it's a metric scale. The mega gigatera prefix. Like, write
Or
out
the metric system.
is that metric? I don't know.
Yeah, because it's the same as like milliliter. Well,
Okay.
it goes like down. Like there's like milli is below a liter, and then there's mega, which is like above.
But it is on the metric system. I just don't know.
Yeah,
like what is that capacity?
You're saying
like
forget imperial
yeah,
measurements.
seriously. Like also use UTC time. Screw time zones. That's besides the point.
100%. 100%. Get rid of daylight savings time while we're at it.
Yeah. Seriously. But seriously, like if you have like you don't even have to have the money. Like go buy an S7 or something that's like $25 or something on eBay, even if it's scrap, and just like put your hands on a miner, learn like what it does, whether it works or not. If it does, awesome, bonus hash rate. But like just like get your hands dirty, because you'll start unlocking questions that you didn't know that you had, and it could lead you down like an insane rabbit hole. Because I personally never saw myself working in the mining industry, and now I do not see myself working anywhere else. So get involved in mining because it is fun. That's what I'll leave you with.
Hell yeah, man. I love to hear that. My advice will be to take that $25 and buy yourself 100,000 sats instead of a lost leader. But, to each his own.
Yeah, I mean, hey, depending on your time preference.
It depends on your goal. If your goal is to accumulate wealth, definitely buy Bitcoin and not an S7. If your goal is to learn, then you're going to learn more by getting your hands dirty and
do not get an S7 thinking that you're going to make money with it.
Actually, just don't mine Bitcoin at all, thinking you're going to make money with it.
Right.
And if this is the first time you're hearing this, go listen to the last episode or 2 episodes ago with Adam Denver Bitcoin, Adam O at Upstream Data, and he will explain to you verbatim why, if you're coming into this to make a profit, you might want to go try OnlyFans instead. So,
like also do research in that. And also, one of the biggest things that I've told everyone that I've taught about mining is define profitability for yourself. Profitability is very subjective.
Whether it's in Bitcoin or dollars too is an important thing.
Yeah. Like my profit, my break even point is, because of my time preference, is the first sat that hits, my pool hits. However, very few other people think that that's a break-even point. But also, if you're looking at it at a actual straight-up break-even point, did you buy your machine in Bitcoin? How much Bitcoin would it have been worth at the time? How much Bitcoin can you mine with this? Using what different pool? I am not sponsored by Brains by any means, but please go to Brains.
Yeah. Their calculator is excellent.
They have so many cool different calculators, mining insights that you can plug in a ton of different factors. But they're the bomb. Again, I have no affiliation.
Spoiler alert, if your energy's not like free, you're not going to break even in Bitcoin right now.
Yeah.
The Denver derivative we talked about at Adam's episode. It's basically like, it's a long calculation that you'll just have to watch the episode and learn how it works. So,
if you can get some 3-cent kilowatt hour energy, let me know.
Yeah, sure, dude. I'd love to. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure like down at that refinery on the Mississippi River where it smells like literal sulfur and chemicals. It smells like destruction, death, and dismay. Where for everyone that's listening, I know we've talked about the show, but like, where can they find like the distribution platform for Between Two ASICs? Where can they find you on Twitter? Any closing thoughts before we wrap up?
Yeah, I am most active on Twitter, twitter.com/Tatum Turn Up. And I post all of the episodes of Between Two ASICs on YouTube at Tatum Turn Up. I'm going to also start posting them on Geyser directly, not behind a paywall or anything, just kind of more direct way. If you want to help support, you get mentioned in the credits. You can donate on my Geyser project at geyser.fund. and you'll also be able to see the videos there. And I've had several people, way more than I thought, donate to make the show happen. So thank you to every single one of them. And if you want to be part of that, you're not obligated. It's still going to be free, but I'd be more than appreciative. But Tatum Turn Up on everything. I'm most active on Twitter.
Enjoy the rest of your night, man. We'll talk again soon.